Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Nigerians are still talking about the sorry state of the judiciary, where lawyers are being seen begging for, court order to be obeyed. And why this had been a serious concern is because if it happened to one, it can actually happen to all. And if we do not join our voices together to seek for the recognition of the judiciary, then the future of a common man is bleak. The issue of Nnamdi Kanu is a very serious one right now. But guess what? They have revealed the reason why the government, that's Buhari's government, have revealed the reason why Nnamdi Kanu cannot be released. And the big question is the reason good enough? However, let's look at the news first and then go into details of this. According to the news, the federal government has explained why it can't obey the court ruling ordering the release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. The government told the appeal court in Abuja that Kanu posed a flight risk and was a threat to national security. An assistant state counsel in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, David Kaswi, informed the court that the case against Kanu bordered on national security. He urged that the fundamental right of IPOB leaders should be suspended due to national interest. Kwaswi, in his words, said it is important to appreciate the gamut of the position in our application. The respondent is a flight risk person, and one of the grounds of our application is that this matter touches on national security of the state. Once there is a threat to national security, human right of any individual can be suspended until such threat is taken care of. Kwaswi also informed the court that releasing Kanu would worsen the security situation in the southeast. The defendant has shown that he has the capacity to jump bail or to escape from lawful custody. There is reasonable intelligence that the enforcement of judgment of this court pending determination of our appeal at the Supreme Court may impact negatively on the declining security in the southeast. A few weeks ago, the appeal court had discharged and acquitted Kanu of all terrorism charges. Despite the court's ruling, the federal government has refused to release the IPOB leader. IGA Abubakar Malami had hinted that more charges would be leveled against Kanu, hence he can't be released. Kanu has been locked up by the DSS, as Department of State Services, since June 2021. He was arrested in Kenya and extraordinarily rendition to Nigeria. Upon his return, the federal government arraigned him on charges bordering on terrorism. The IPOB leader was first arrested in 2017 due to his agitation for the actualization of Biafra. Justice Binta Nyako of an Abuja Federal High Court has granted him bail shortly after Kanu was released. He left the country due to what happened between him and the military. Now, this is the reason that the federal government has pushed forward, and they said that it will spark up crisis in the southeast. But the big question is him staying there and him being released, which is the best? That is one of the biggest questions that Nigerians are answering right now. Some people are of the opinion that if Nnamdi Kanu is still kept under the custody of the DSS, at one point the people may likely react, and the issue of national security we're trying to protect will be totally eradicated, because they will put laws into their hands, and all of that being that for many he is pursuing a cause that they want much realization or sudden realization for it, you understand? But then other people believe that keeping him there will kind of put them under check. All of this put together is what we still want to talk about right now. Now, first of all, we must realize that the fundamental human right of an individual is overly important, especially in the eyes of the law. And if that is true, we have to also realize that the supremacy of the law which is the same thing as rule of law, is also of paramount importance, because in any society where law is trivialized and played down on, automatically such environment is sure to encounter anything. Democracy is the key features of democracy is supremacy of the law. I feel that the federal government can look for a better way to handle this issue. And one of the ways is to ensure that they bring up kind of release demands, a kind of, like to say, as we are releasing him, possibly his traveling document should not be given to him. Apart from his traveling document, people should shorty him, since you still have some cases you have filed against him, which he must answer to you know, people will come out shorty him. But let it be that whenever we reflect back, we look back at the legal antecedent, judicial precedent, we can say that at one point this government respected the rule of law, they stood by the rule of law, and they did what was right. The issue of national security right now is getting worse day after day. We are waking up to multiple of such things, multiple issues of insecurity everywhere in Nigeria. And guess what? If you have noticed, as at the time that Nnamdi Kanu was released, the level of jubilation that was happening in the southeast was far beyond human comprehension. To a point that somebody had to even burn down his car. And I was like, what kind of madness is this? But all of that was to tell you that people were excited that he was being released. And it was a big plus for this government, if not for anything, for the fact that they were able to respect the rule of law. I think that is why Mike Ezeume even went further to beg the president, say, please, sir, no matter what, let this one be a plus for you. Release this man. Release him. Let it be that the rule of law has been held in high esteem. Even if it's not for anything, let it be one of the major pluses that we will have, considering the situation of things and all of that. Reacting here, someone says that the current administration is more of a threat to national security than Nnamdi Kanu himself. The level of insecurity and poverty in Nigeria, which threat is beyond them. President overseeing flood, and he traveled to South Korea to a summit he knows nothing about. Another one here say either whether they release him or not, it won't stop what would happen. This one here says Nigeria is such an unbelievable lawless place. Is the judiciary not the most important arm of government? Who do you refer as the government? This one here say if he is a threat to national security, why were you then not able to convict him in their own courts? Nigerian APC government has no shame. Well, another person here says, remember, you cannot hold him forever. Let the government treat softly and take precaution. Already, government has given him an undue recognition and make him more populous among the kingsmen and even few nations of the world. All right, that's all we have. Just go to our comment section. What's your standpoint on everything that is happening to Nnamdi Kanu?